Holy smokes. We didn't get the intro, did we?
Better than none.
Is good, everybody. What's up, gentlemen? D-Boggs, Schmitty and Christian, along with D-Boggs. In the beginning of the show, we got Forever SF Giants, brought to you by the good people at Skaters on Baseball. And if you aren't subscribed yet, what the hell are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button, pound the likes, make some comments, or we're sending Shard all after your ass. We're not very happy tonight, guys. The Giants are not playing well, so
feel like I got a little shaken baby syndrome.
Yeah, the baby. That's what that clip's forever. That clip is forever.
What's up, Love Thy Neighbor 007? Yeah, man. I'm still not going to fall into the full Negatron zone because I feel like, well, first of all, we should. Tony Vitello popped his cherry today.
Evicted.
And yeah, questionable. I mean, that whole runner's lane thing is just, I've seen guys get a lot of leeway, and Encarnacion coming from the third base side of home plate, running up there. He's pretty much on the dirt the whole way. Now they got this whole thing about the chalk line, but it's like the guy's got to cut across the plate, and he's got to. I listened to this whole debate about it last year, and it's like this runner's lane and whatever. Initially, they called him out on interference. Okay. That's why Vitello was out there screaming at the umpires, because there's a difference between interference and actually running outside the lane. So the call they made was not correct in terms of what actually happened. Right. That's why he was ticked.
Well, and also it's not from the catcher down the line. Like, it didn't matter. The throw was from the third base side. So who cares if he's in the lane or not?
Right.
Like he didn't interfere with the ball.
But that's what they called.
Yeah, it just
didn't hit him. Nothing.
It didn't make sense. The call just was like, oh, it's kind of like one of those calls where they wait, and if the guy makes it, then they don't call it. But if he doesn't make it in basketball, then they call the foul. It's like, oh, the guy dropped it. Let's it was. I don't agree with that one.
And see, we're spoiled because we have replay for so many different types of plays where bad calls can be overturned. But that's one of those unreviewable things where it's like umpire's discretion. They could have an umpire's meeting about it if they want, but the bottom line is you can't, make the signal, and
you can't replay that one.
Yeah, so that's a bummer. But yeah, Vitello got his first ejection. I like to see it. How long did it take for Melvin to get his first ejection when he came to the Giants?
I don't know.
Long time. Kapler took what, year and a half? I mean, come on. And he did it for Meckler.
You'll never forget that.
I will never forget that. It's stuck in my craw. But
Love Thy Neighbor 007 is kind of like a perfect example of what most of the Bay Area fans are, which is ignorant. I hate to say it, but you can't point the finger at Posey. Devers' trade was incredible, so don't ever forget that. And Chapman and Adames are streaky. They're going to have an epic month next month. They're going to have downfalls, and they're going to get their numbers every year. If you don't want a streaky player, you shouldn't get those type of guys. True, but never doubt the Devers trade. That was a grand slam. And pointing the finger at Vitello after 10 games where it's like, okay, you open up against the Yankees, then you go to San Diego, handle business, and then you got 4 against the Mets. That's all we've done so far. Like, it's so early to like be like throwing in the towel and complaining about all this crap. I don't know. That's my feeling.
Yeah, yeah. And look, the San Diego series, it wasn't that bad. I mean, they came off getting spanked by the Yankees and went into San Diego and handled some business, right? And coming into this Mets series, it's like you're feeling good about it. You're feeling like, yeah, okay, it's the Mets, and the Mets didn't do Mets things. And clubhouse cancer Soto goes out with an injury, and all of a sudden the Mets are playing like the Dodgers, right? Like what the hell? That's not the way it's supposed to be. Your number 9 guy's going yard twice in a game. I mean, it was just absurd. But yeah, I mean, it's look, this is kind of a rough week all the way around. Chapman had a tough week, making throws to first base that Casey Schmidt is definitely not making plays that he should be making, pissing him off. And then he goes on to have a couple more throwing errors, and a couple of hits, but nothing really to be proud about this week. So that's a rough one. And I think it's just, look, man, it's a new season. We're not that many games in, and there's going to be some growing pains. You got a new manager, you got some new players. The pitching staff is, you only got 3 of the 5 that have been around, before this season, and the bullpen is strange. But it's not. People are writing this team off already, and it's like, well, if you just want to be pissed and bummed, then be pissed and bummed. I can't help you,
Yeah.
And I think this Love Thy Neighbor is going to keep coming with this. Look, the bottom line is, I think Posey wanted to make some big splashes. I think he wanted to lock in some upper tier players, and just, look, we may not have any baseball after the season for a while, and I'd rather have some guys in my arsenal and not have to worry about dumping a bunch of dudes if they come in with a salary cap. So I have no problem with the guys that he signed. Would I like Adames to be a quick starter rather than a slow one? 100%. Would I like to see Devers come hot out of the box and just start putting balls over the fence? 100%. Their performance hasn't been indicative of who they are. But like I said, we just started. We're just going into the second week now, right?
Yeah. And I think personally for me, it's going to start when Vitello feels like the season has gone long enough that he doesn't have to play the starters every day. We haven't seen Jared Oliva. We have barely seen Encarnacion. We've seen the exact same lineup every game. And to me, what was clicking in spring training was having Jared Oliva hit balls and get doubles and steal bases and have that kind of spark, and Encarnacion hitting balls to the opposite field and whatnot. The outfield, Bader needs a day off. Put Oliva in center for a game, or give Jung-Woo Lee a day off. It's okay to give somebody a day off once in a while. It's not a demotion, but I think as a young manager, I think he might be a little tentative right now to be like, I'm going to put in this guy over a top guy, right? But I think those type of moves, once they start happening, they get the team, the guy that gets put on the bench for the game gets the fire under his ass, but then the other guys feel like they're a part of the team. Right now, Jared Oliva is walking to and from the game every day going, what am I doing here?
Yep.
So I'd love to see him get, even if it's late inning replacement or something, he doesn't have to start, but let's get him into the game, get him some reps, get him as a pinch runner, see him steal some bases. The guy was like, I think 55 stolen bases in AAA last year or something. Like, he is a guy that would be a difference maker for us. And eventually they're going to have to figure out, I don't know if Christian Koss and Casey Schmidt makes a lot of sense having both those guys. If Casey's going to be on the bench and Koss is on the bench, I'd rather have Gilbert or somebody else in there than both those guys, because they kind of seem like, I mean, Koss is probably faster than Casey. Casey's probably a little better defensively, but they're both, I don't know, they're not top-notch guys.
Koss and Schmidt, to me, defensively, I don't think that Schmidt's better on defense. We've seen Koss play every infield position and do well at all of them, right? And you can't dump Koss because look, he's just this week he pitched his 4th perfect inning in the big leagues.
You hate that though.
I do hate it,
but bring that
I do hate it. But the thing is, he hasn't served up a home run, a double, nothing, man. He's perfect 4 innings, right? So, like, yeah, I can't stand position players pitching, but if you're going to have it happen, have a guy who does that. You know, it's not embarrassing.
The other thing, too, I wanted to mention real quick while I'm thinking about it is the elephant in the room. We forgot about it. It's Susac, man. Let the Sus loose. Susac, though, whatever you want to call him, Bailey is an issue right now, and he needs to understand that he's going to be fighting for a job pretty soon. And if you put that guy on the bench and put Susac in there and he continues to do even close to what he did the other night, that's going to give Bailey some nightmares, and it might actually spark him a little bit, you know? So I just want to see some offense. I want to see the team click, and they're not right now. And it's almost all across the board. All the haters on Luis Arraez, I've been saying it for 2 years. We should get somebody like Luis Arraez, and he's getting hits every game. He's an actual hitter. We haven't seen anyone like that in a long time. And it's so refreshing to have a guy that's going to be up around 300 consistently from the beginning to the end of the season. He's not streaky. He doesn't strike out a lot. And I don't know where all the fucking defensive haters are, but every play he makes it look perfect. He looks like he's legit out there to me. So I know it's early, but hey, Luis Arraez, that's my dude.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, all season long, you get that out of him. And that's something that the Giants have been missing for forever. You know, just a guy who's just there, solid, right around 300 all season long. You know, as far as Bailey's concerned, look, he's 3 for 27, no home runs. You know, his on base is 200. He somehow stole a base, but I mean, really, he's hitting 111. Okay. And I mean, Susac, the smallest sample size possible, one single game, but the guy's batting 1,000.
And he's a big dude, man.
Like, and he's a big dude.
He's tall and big, and he looked great in spring training too, though. I was paying attention to a lot of this stuff. So it's not just one game. It's one pro game, but he looks like he's meant to be up here. He's calm. I don't know if you saw him in the post-game interviews and stuff, but oh yeah, I saw that Rooker got the fucking walk-off homer, man. Wow. Sacto A's, but we got Sacto Susac. We got Sacto Susac. Try to say that 20 times.
Susacto.
But let's give Susac at least one game a series, right? I mean, let's get him Wednesday.
Totally with that.
Day game after a night game has to happen. Let's give him a 4-game series. He's got to play at least one of those games, and let's just see what happens. Like I said, I think Vitello being new is a little bit of an issue as far as diving into the back end of the players right away. But we're almost coming up on 2 weeks, and I think then it'll start happening a little bit more. Like you might see a spot start from somebody and somebody sit down, which I think is only beneficial for everybody.
Yeah. So I want to know from your perspective, you were at the yard today, you're watching the game live, and from what I was seeing from the pitch tracking that I was watching while I was listening to the game, it looked like dudes are pressing hard, swinging it just garbage. I mean, balls that are so far out of the zone, nobody's hitting that. Sandoval is not hitting them, and these guys are swinging at it. And it's like, you know, they're seeing the ball, and then there's just feeling like I got to do something and just struggling, right? So, I mean, how does it look in the flesh? Does it look that way to you, or?
Well, let's just go with this. You're down 3 runs. It's the 9th inning, and you get thrown out stealing second base. What? I mean, if your mind is in the game and you're like, That's unacceptable. Sorry. Haruku was right on that one. It's like, Chapman, dude, you got some explaining to do after you just bitched out Schmidt like less than 4 days ago. Hey, catch the fucking ball. Don't try to steal unless it's 100% for sure when you're down 3 runs and there. I was like, what? That was crazy. Yeah, I think everyone's pressing. I think, and Vitello said it a couple of times in interviews after the game, I think everybody really wants to do well so that Vitello looks well, because it feels like the media is out to get Vitello. It feels like people want him to fail. Like they're coming at him with some harsh questions, and like, what's his name? Olbermann today said, sorry guys, he's just not a Major League Baseball coach. And everyone is just ready to attack this dude. Give the guy at least 1 year before you make these harsh decisions. But I think the team's pressing because they want to, show the manager good. But also, I think you and I talked about it. The fan base is fucking huge, and everyone knows that. The Giants fans are great most of the time. And for them not to win at home like they didn't last year, that's a big pressure too. I think when they go on the road, they're more relaxed because they don't have to, like when they're losing consistently, they lost 3 in a row now, right? 3 in a row at home. That's not what you want to do. And that adds a lot of pressure when you're playing at home, I believe. So I do think they're pressing. I think Devers has probably been kind of dealing with something because he wasn't playing first base till tonight. So maybe he wasn't 100%. Bader was just coming off of something, and we don't know exactly what that is. But also it's a find the order type shit. Like, I don't really like Adames leading off. I don't like Arraez batting fourth. I'm more of a traditionalist. I think it would be Arraez and Lee, maybe first, second, or maybe even Ramos. Ramos led off last year and did pretty good because he bats closer to 300 than most of the other guys besides Arraez. But they got to figure out the lineup. And then what you addressed to start the show, the bullpen needs to have an identity. Right now, it is just a coin flip. Like, I don't know who's coming in when. I don't know what version of Miller we're going to get. I don't know if Walker knows where the strike zone is or not. Like, none of these guys are like in season form to me. And that needs to happen ASAP. So that's all my analogies.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the bullpen's concerned, like, look, Keaton Wynn has already thrown a bunch of innings, right? And so to put him out there today, he's probably got a little fatigue, and it's a tough spot to come in. And then Eric Miller comes in. I'm sorry, but Eric Miller has never really impressed me because he might have great stuff and he might have good velocity. The problem is in leverage situations, he just never gets it done, man. He comes in like a garbage time and he's great. And this is like perennially the type of guy that I don't want. I want a guy who goes like, yeah, you're going to put me in the pressure cooker. I'm going to handle it. Not a guy who comes in and it's like, oh shit, man. I don't know if I can handle this. And that's the way he seems to me. Right. And it's been a little sketchy out of the bullpen. Right. And then, in the rotation, like, as far as I'm concerned, what I've seen out of Roop, why is he not the number 3 guy at this point? Hauser was okay, not bad. Malley looks lost, right? It's just like, wow. And Roop was fired up the other day after that whole thing with Chapman. He was pissed, and Vitello actually kind of addressed it to the media. And, on the point of the media, a lot of the external media is definitely gunning for him. I don't know why. We got to pick on the new guy in San Francisco. We got Joe Madden's back, so we're going to shit on this dude. I don't know what it is, right? But you mentioned Keith Olbermann. Like, that dude has zero relevance to talk about anything. He could take his TDS and drive off the cliff, dude. Like, I don't care about Keith Olbermann. I don't really care about Jim Bowden, some former GM that wants to shit all over him. I don't want to care about Joe Madden and his sour grapes about not getting considered for the the hire in San Francisco. We didn't want you anyway, Joe. It's not like we don't need your commentary on it, right? The only media that matters to me is, maybe MLB Network, which they've been stroking him a little bit. They've had him on and they've interviewed him and they've talked pretty well about him, and the local people who should be asking the hard questions, sure, but not just spit roasting the guy and saying like, well, yeah, we know you're going to fail and we sort of want you to fail, so we're going to ask the questions that make you look bad. And fuck, Murph and Marcus, these kind of people, like, that's not who I care about asking the questions. Susan Slusser wants to ask questions. Great. She's going to ask smart, pointed questions. She's going to get the right kind of answer that everybody needs to hear, whether they want to or not, But it's like the guy hasn't even been in the major leagues for what, 2 weeks at this point in active season? What is everybody looking at? The guys on the field are the ones that are coming up short right now, not the manager. And we can get that straight, I mean, the performances have just been not great. And our expectations based on spring training, and coming into this new year, they've not been met. So it's not enough for me to start cutting my wrists or anything in the bathtub, but yeah, I want to see them do better. And I think they will. I think it'll kick in. I think these guys need to get out on the road again. I think they need to get relaxed. I think everybody needs to get comfortable with one another. And, just like the plays to first base from Chapman to Schmidt, right? Mm-hmm. Simple stuff where the chemistry of the mechanics of a play. I mean, look, Arraez is turning double plays with the infielders, and that's all working really smoothly, right? But from the third base side, things have been a little sketchy, and I think it's just getting adjusted, maybe, right? And we talked about it last week. It's like going from spring training where you're playing in front of 6,000-7,000 people to going to Oracle where you're playing in front of 30,000. Big fucking difference, man. Different weather conditions, different noise levels, different distractions, stuff going on. There's giant scoreboards and all this crap, and dudes have to get focused, dialed in to where that stuff is not affecting them anymore.
For sure. And the ones with families or significant others, they have to get them all settled in a new city. Almost all of them don't live here year round. So they're coming here, bringing their car, getting it, all the stuff, the hassles that happen in the beginning, like the first couple of weeks. It makes sense. I don't want to keep putting excuses out there, but it does make sense for the beginning to be a little rocky, right? But This is bad. I mean, this is a 1-6 homestand. They're 3-7 out of the first 10 games. And the more important thing is, I think they've only scored 26 runs in 10 games, which is maybe their 5th worst start in the history of the ball club or something crazy like that. Yep. So these are all things that are having a big impact on the fan base. And unfortunately, we're living in a time where everybody has a voice, and you have to hear almost everybody's voice if you're paying attention at all. And so the Keith Olbermans of the world, the Bowden thing was messed up too. I saw that and I was like, I kind of thought I might have a little respect for you, but I guess I don't. I thought maybe I did, but that was insane. And it's just like, what is your motive? Why? Right? Is it because he didn't? I was comparing it to the taxi drivers and the Uber drivers, where the taxi drivers have to get their certificate and all those things. And then this Uber driver comes in, he doesn't have to do any of that. And he's already, doing his thing. I feel there's a little of that for Vitello. Like, he didn't pay his dues, right? Like, he just came straight from college. He was never a coach in the MLB, never nothing. He just came in, he's the manager already. And people are bitter about that. But what you have to understand is he's an impressive person. Like, he impressed Buster Posey. He impressed Bochy. He impressed Dusty Baker, all these guys. And his track record in college was phenomenal. And the players he worked with have his back big time. Like Max Scherzer, Gilbert, all these guys. Like, nobody spoke anything but the highest praises for this guy. So to me, it's like, yeah, you're sitting at home watching the team lose, but guess what? They've been losing for a while. We've been 500 for like 10 years or something, you know, like it is what it is. And we're trying to right the ship. And a lot of these things are difficult, you know, like I think Buster's doing fine with what he can do. Like you know, everybody wants to say, let's go young, let's go young. Well, the farm, if you're paying any attention, we got Johnny Level in single A San Jose. This guy's good, but single A San Jose shows you how good our whole farm is, from Sacramento to the East Coast to Eugene down. We're starting to build like significant squads where it's like, oh, Bo Davidson's going to come up. Barracoto is starting off on fire in Sacramento. Like he might be playing better than Eldridge. Like there's all these names that you're starting
Dakota
to hear.
Jordan.
Yeah, Dakota Jordan, the pitching, Jonathan Brescian. It's like there's all this stuff happening. And so we are going young, you know?
Well, and even at the major league level, like Blade Tidwell coming in, right?
Yeah, right.
He's a young kid. Susac's a young kid. I mean, I think that the big cost benefit and what's going to pay off over time with Buster the most is exactly that. The farm system had been completely depleted for almost a decade by Farhan and, you know, what's his name? The guy that came in after Sabine, right? Like they just really didn't start building from the ground up. And this is something that you can look at the Dodgers and look at, it's like every year there's some hot shit dude coming up out of their farm system who makes them more of a contender than they already are.
And it's one of them happened to be a Giant. James Tibbs is on fire in the minors, right? And he was our dude.
Right. They just keep, you know, funneling guys through the system, and they're drafting well. And I think the Giants are drafting better now than they have in a long time, you know, in the international draft, all of that. And all these young kids, like you mentioned, in San Jose, and the guys that are right on the verge of jumping to the sack. I mean, these are young guys with a lot of talent and a lot of hunger. They want it bad, you know, and that's nice to see, right? So, you know, it's funny, like Eldridge's name doesn't even really come up in the last week. Like nobody's gone to that panic mode where they're like, oh, we got to bring up Eldridge because Schmidt can't pull it and this, that, and the other thing. And it's just like, all right, you know, let's go with what we got. And we know the future is bright with all these farm guys, you know, and I don't think Buster's going to be one of those people that just like, oh, we're just going to trade away all these great prospects because, you know, we'll get something down the road. I don't think he's like that. I think he clearly wants to invest in the guys that have value and keep them around. So that, if nothing else, that's something to be positive about. And I just feel like something just needs to click. I don't think the Giants are going to stick around where they are now, you know, but definitely the hitting and the run production is a problem. And then the bullpen is, you know, a question mark. Starting rotation is fine. I think that, you know, the defense, aside from some miscues in the last couple of games, has been pretty good. You know, Ramos definitely improved in the outfield. I think Bader's a plus player in center field. And, you know, I think Lee is going to be fine and right. So it's just fixing those pieces that are broken right now. And yeah, I mean, it's frustrating for sure, but I'm not throwing in the towel. Fuck. Right.
Yeah. I don't see how you can, unless you're just not really a baseball fan, which, like I said last week, it's like, you got a lot of Niner fans that are disgruntled that it's not football season all year round, and they're just ready to jump down the Giants' throat the minute they have like a losing streak. But this team is streaky, unfortunately, and I don't like it. I'm not saying that this is how I would build my team. I like a guy that's consistent throughout, even if he's sub the up and down thing. But if you have a constant, it's just, you know what you're getting. Like Logan Webb is one of the consistent guys. He's it's insane how people don't consider him an ace. He's our guy. He is innings, strikeouts, ERA, keeps the team it's just crazy. But a lot of guys like Adames, Devers, Chapman, even it seems like Jung-Hoo Lee, are pretty streaky. I'd say Ramos is kind of more consistent than those people. And it's too early for me. I don't know what Bader's going to really give us all year. So the jury's still out on that, but I do think that the team is going to click. And once it does, they're going to do what they're doing negative right now, positive. So the defense won't be making these dumb errors, and they won't be making base running errors. I don't know what happened with Gerard Encarnacion today, but he went to the first base dugout when he was supposed to go to second base. He took the craziest turn and he got thrown out at second. But part of it was because I mean, it was bad. So they're doing a lot of like fundamental things bad right now. And that's supposed to be a no-no. Like this team's not good enough to do that. So they need to really work on the defense, the base running, and like we always say, scoring with runners in scoring position and less than 2 outs. Like those are like the big things. I think the pitching is going to be fine. I think Molly's going to be fine. I think Hauser's going to be fine. I think Roop is going to start becoming almost a second Logan Webb. And I like Robbie Ray. I think Robbie Ray, until he gets hurt, he's going to be great. And hopefully he doesn't get hurt this year. He's pitching pretty damn good. He's a little erratic. He gives up the long ball once in a while, but he's got a lot of, spice, and he strikes people out in tough situations, and he's a gamer. He goes in and he gives it his all every game. And I think that's what some of the comments were earlier today too, when I was kind of cruising around, is a lot of people are saying this team doesn't look like they're hungry, like they're kind of just mailing it in sometimes, it feels like. And again, that could be like getting to know each other, the season just starting, like all that. I think there's definitely better baseball to come.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Senior's going to start talking about the Niners any second based on this comment.
Yeah,
they're not going to lose 90. It's not going to happen.
I don't think so. I think they're going to win 77 to 81 is my prediction. I think they're going to be right around where they were last year, but hopefully a few games better, and maybe just slide into that last wild card spot. But it'll be interesting. Sorry, he's not an ace.
We're only 10 games in. It's like whatever. So I was looking at Arraez's stats, right? Okay. Dude, this guy is a career 316 hitter. Over his whole career, he hasn't been below 300. Okay. He's hitting 275 right now with the Giants, right? He's got 11 hits and 40 at bats, which is smoking everybody else, right? Like everybody else needs to catch up. To your point about the getting the runners in, less than 2 outs. Look at what happened the other night. Bases loaded, no outs. This is typically kryptonite for the Giants. What do? They probably hit 2 sac flies and score 2 runs. They couldn't find a sac fly to save their lives last year and the year before and the year before that, right? I saw that. I was like, that's reason to be optimistic right there, because that was something that they were completely incapable of doing, right? It just, I think it's just, I don't know. We've seen a couple of ugly games, but I don't think that this is any reason to panic,
Yeah, I mean, we do have the Phillies coming in for 3, and then they finally have a day off. But like, they've played 6, 7, 8, 9. They will have played 10 games in a row going into the off day Thursday.
Yep.
Before they travel back to Baltimore. Then they have a day off. Then they go into Cincinnati and Washington. Then they come back and they host the Dodgers. After that stretch, well, they got to go back east again and play Philly and Tampa Bay. But it does get a lot lighter going into May and June. But here's the thing. I was telling my wife, we're walking home, and I was like, well, we knew it was going to be a tough start. we hoped it wouldn't be this tough, but we knew it would, like
Right.
it's like we kind of saw the schedule and we're like, it's gonna be tough. So
yeah, this might be one of the toughest first months that the Giants have had in quite a while in terms of the opponents that they're facing. I mean, it's
it's
a
pretty gnarly.
buzzsaw. And I mean, Philadelphia is actually kind of underperforming right now, so that might be a good thing for the Giants.
I hope so.
But yeah, it's man, tough schedule. They pulled a tough one this year. And so in a way that's kind of good, because if you're going to get clobbered out of the gate, and then you have to sort of play catch up, at least you're going to get to play catch up against teams that you can handle, and not being already in the hole and then having to face the tough guys. Like, it'd be one thing if they're playing subpar teams and they're getting smoked. Then you'd be like, fuck, this is not good,
Yeah.
But you're going up against, and I mean, the Mets like played above their pay grade the last, 3 games. They did, right? Because you got Soto out, and all of a sudden these guys are just killing it. Like,
I mean, the Mets are stacked though. They have a good squad. It's just
sure, you can't take anything away from them, but in terms of like competing, like you throw it in with the Dodgers and the Orioles are pretty tough this year, and Atlanta's looking kind of tough, and it's like, are they really that much better? They're not the Yankees, they're not the Dodgers.
Well,
and
I think
completely.
the Mets have really good pitching. I think that Nolan McLean just shut them down. I think Senga pitched super good, and the Giants just aren't a team that does well against good pitching. That's just what they're telling us right now. Like, the Yankees threw out their guys, we couldn't hit them. The Padres throw out Pivetta, we can't hit them, and the Mets throw out their 3 studs, and we can't hit them. So, I mean, we're lucky we didn't see Peralta game 1. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, McLean's pitch sequencing. I don't know if you saw any of those sort of little highlights of how he was mixing pitches, but he just fooled everybody. I mean, it was ridiculous. And they showed how the late motion on his pitches were like 3/4 of the way to the plate, the ball is in the exact same location on 2 different pitches, and then it just like ridiculous, right? Talent, serious talent. And yeah, I mean, they had to face some pretty tough arms, but I think part of it is not that they can't hit, it's that guys are pressing. It feels like guys are they're trying to do too much at the plate. They're trying to make something happen. They're feeling like, somebody's got to start this fire, and sometimes you got to take some pitches. I don't want to see this routine that we've seen in the past of like instant 0-2 counts, right? As it flailing at a ball outside the zone, then looking at a strike right down the pipe. And then it's like, now what? I got to take my time out. It's 0-2. Like, now I really got to struggle to make something happen, right? So,
well, we just got a live report from Sacramento, California, where a team that doesn't have a city to represent them and the
wow, what a scene!
Home.
What a scene!
Yeah, it looked fun. I'll be up there for some games. I'm not afraid. I like the Athletics. I'm not a hater.
What a scene! Did you see Joe Adell with the 3 home run robberies?
No, was that today?
It was last night.
Okay.
Joe Adell, the could be a superstar for the Angels, but sometimes he just doesn't look all that great. Robbed 3 home runs in 1 game. It was unreal.
Wow. Yeah.
And they weren't like, maybe it wasn't a home run. They were no doubt steals, right? So
Mm.
I love baseball, man. I like seeing guys on almost any team do stuff like that. Fuck the Dodgers. I don't want to see Dodgers guys do anything good, and even if they do, fuck them. But that was pretty cool. You know, down here, the Angels are it. Ask Salba. Ask Salba. Not his kid. His kid's a traitor.
Yeah. Well, shoot. Yeah, the thing I also was going to say too about the disappointment with the fans, the weather in San Francisco has been insane. It's been the best weather ever. It's like October right now. Like there was no wind. It's about 80 degrees. So you just got these epic turnouts. Everybody wants to be at the game. It's beautiful weather. We got Glenn's girl, Kayla Thornton, out there signing cards for me. We got Valkyrie jersey giveaways. Like it's just all going. And then Logan Webb comes in, throws 5 innings, great ball, 6th inning, pretty good. 7th inning, Elliot Ramos, what are you doing? You should have caught that. Catch the fucking ball. And then he still gets out of it. And you're like, okay, we're bringing in Wynn. He's been fire. What's going on? Wait, what's happening? Oh no. And it just falls apart, and it just falls apart quick. It's tough, man. You're like, if we had won today, you split the series, you're 2-5, you're 4-6, you know, things are, that one game makes a difference. And the Phillies lost to the Rockies today. So you're like, licking your chops. Maybe we can get them while they're not hot and stuff. So yeah, it's just tough. But I think, you know, 162 games, the thing you and I have preached ever since we started talking ball together is like, hey, tomorrow's another game.
That's right.
You don't have to wait 7 days and talk about replays over and over. And oh God, remember when the guy threw the ball and then I was getting a beer, so I had to come back, and then like football, Niners. Hold on, tomorrow let's talk about the same thing because there's not another game for 6 more days. So Mr. Irrelevant, he was the last guy drafted, but he's doing pretty good. It's like, shut the hell up, guys. It's baseball every day, new shit. SMD.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, it's media people and all. Yeah, I'm sure KMBR tomorrow morning. I won't be listening, but I'm sure they'll be tearing into everybody and then be like, this and that.
You got a Yankees fan hosting. Who cares?
Yeah, the sky is falling. You know, it's like, and the last person. I mean, I constantly grade on the dude, and I probably shouldn't, but I cannot stand Murph and his like. He thinks somehow he's some kind of like critical genius when it comes to like baseball thinking and all this stuff. And it's like, dude, you never played the game. Shut the hell up. Like,
yeah,
nobody needs to hear it from you. You get thrown out of your coach in Little League games, arguing calls and getting thrown off the field at a Little League game. Like, you're not in a position to be criticizing Tony Vitello or any single one of the Giants players. You know, that's for us to do because we're just small time podcasters and we can get away with it. You know,
yeah,
we're not on the flagship station. And you know, I don't know if it's maybe the demographic that listens to KMBR wants that. It's like what, like the rubberneckers when there's an accident on the freeway. You know, everybody loves a train wreck. It's why people watch the Kardashians, right? Because they just want to see fucked up shit all the time. And it's like,
exactly,
not me. I want to see good ball. I want to see guys being happy, celebrating wins, and you know, and just having that camaraderie when you look at a team and you go, these guys are tight. These guys are tight.
Mm-hmm.
I think a month from now, we'll be looking at the Giants and saying that these guys are tight. You know, I think it's going to click.
Yeah. And I think it, you know, like I said, it's going to be a matter of building that chemistry. I think a long East Coast trip, I think it's 3 series, right? And they have 2 off days, maybe. That's a long trip. Flying cross country, East Coast, 6 hours, let's just call it. You got what, 10 to 12 days on the road and then another 6 hours. When you come back from that, you know each other a lot better. You've spent a lot of time. What restaurant are you eating at? Let's go get breakfast tomorrow. All that stuff that happens on the road. You don't have your family, nothing. It's just you and your players. I think that's going to help a lot. And they're going to come back and they're going to be Dodger time. Whoo, they better be ready because the Dodgers will be.
Yeah, and to build that camaraderie on the road, I'm sorry, but a 3-hour cruise to San Diego doesn't cut it.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, you went down to San Diego and you were in the gas.
That's a good little put your feet wet, right? Like,
yeah, that's not even travel ball, really, right? So, like, once they get out to the East Coast, down into the South, and up into the Northeast, like, it's these guys are gonna be stuck with each other, and they're gonna be playing cards or video games or whatever it is that they do, and I think it's all gonna kind of connect. I mean, certainly, like, you can see the quirky little kind of fits and starts that they're having on the defense with, like, the infield and stuff. And what was it like? Didn't Jung-Hoo Lee collide with Bader too in the outfield?
That was scary.
Yeah. So, like, the communication, the just knowing everybody's zone, I don't think it's all dialed in yet. And it's not something that, I mean, yeah, we all want them to come in like it's like, oh, we're playing like game 50 today. Like, look at how seasoned we are, right? But it's not the case. It's not the case.
I will say watching Bader play center has been fun. He's definitely flying around out there and making play after play. He looks really comfortable and confident. I like to see that in the center fielder. So there's some glimpses of like, oh, that's great. Like, oh, that's great. And then so we just gotta, like, kind of sweep it up, clean it up, get it tight. And you said it earlier. Does Vitello getting his first ejection fire up everybody? Maybe. Sometimes that's what sometimes that's what it takes, is like going to bat for your squad and saying, like, dude, I got your backs. Let's get out there and kick some butt.
Absolutely. I think that's a big deal for the players. They see that and they go like, okay, he's backing us up, right? Because they can't do it. They could stand there at the plate and bitch at the umpire and get tossed. It's not the same thing. When your skipper comes out and he's pushing you back to get at the umpire, that says something, not just to that guy, but the whole team, right? And that's something that idiot Kapler never did, and Bob Melvin, he got tossed a few times, but when Melvin would get tossed, it was kind of like watching Sparky Anderson get tossed, or it was like watching an old dude kind of Clint Hurdle. Remember Clint Hurdle when he was the manager of the Pirates, and he'd come hobbling. It would take him like a minute and a half to get to the plate, for the ejection. Meanwhile, it's like the umpire's already tossed his guy, and everybody's kind of waiting. The announcers are like, "Well, Clint's coming out to get his money's worth. We'll be right back after this commercial break," and then he's still not there. Right. And Boch, I mean, to his credit, his knees are so bad, he got out there quicker than Clint Hurdle, but going back and watching all the Bochy ejections over the years, that's what you want, man. And he'd get his guys fired up. You could see it because Boch is a special kind of dude. I think everybody that played under him during his San Francisco tenure has the utmost respect for that dude. And I'm hoping that's what we see with Vitello, because he's kind of like the bridge guy now, right? Like, we want to forget Kapler. Melvin was a blip on the radar, and now we got Tony. So,
and I mean, his press conferences have been pretty quirky and fun. Like, he's not afraid to talk. He's definitely got an answer for everything. And he kind of seems like he's just freestyling sometimes, where he's not afraid to say the wrong thing. And then he'll hear him saying it and he'll be like, well, I don't know if that necessarily made sense, but like, catch up stuff. Yeah. But I want to say, we are Forever SF Giants podcast. And so I got to go to my bro, Forever Giant. You know who I'm bringing up? How do we do this? Kyle Harrison, baby. How do I?
Oh, you're going to have to, here we go. Shrink your screen down.
How do you do that? Oh man, these things. Well, oh, here we go. I got it. Image file. Let's see. Okay. Go this way, and then we can go back to this. And here we go. Today, Kyle Harrison gets a win, throws 5 innings for the Brewers, only gives up 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, and 1 home run. And forever giant Luis Matos helped him out by throwing a runner out at home. Gotta love it.
Matos was in the game today. Wow.
Nothing like it, baby.
I'm happy for Luis Matos. I wish it would have happened for him in San Francisco, but I'm glad he's got a place, man. I think he's a fantastic player. I think he's going to do good things there.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys all know this by now, but I'm a real big Kyle Harrison supporter. I just want to see him do good. Here's another thing I wanted to bring up. This is what's going on so far for this team. Christian Koss hasn't batted. Jared Oliva hasn't batted. Susac, we know that. But look at all these 152, 111, 118, 184. Especially with the big number of at-bats at the top. Adames 38, Chapman 38, Rafael 38, and these guys are batting right around 200. Those numbers are definitely going to go up. So look forward to that. The Patrick Bailey one you can circle as TBD. That number may go down. We are not sure. Jung-Hoo Lee should go up. Elliot Ramos should go up. Casey Schmidt's probably right around where he's going to end up, maybe a little lower than that. That's kind of high, maybe.
But it's not terrible. It's not terrible.
Great.
273.
I really, okay, you know how I was with Grant McRae? I am Jared Oliva support group number 1. I want to see this guy play. I want to give this guy a chance. I don't want it to just be like how they did it with Matos. I want to see him plugged in. If he has to play DH for a few nights or just give somebody a night off in the outfield, I want to see what the team looks like with this guy. He could be our leadoff guy we've been looking for. If he can get on base, the guy is so fast. He can steal bases. He can get a walk, and all of a sudden that's a double, sometimes a triple. Those are the guys that really excite me. So I'm hoping he gets a chance because I'm scared that they're going to bring up Eldridge and then send Oliva down or something like that. So they got to give these guys chances before they make any changes. That's what I want to see.
Well, you got to figure that Bader, between his age and the injuries that he's had and the amount of hustle that he gives you, he's going to need nights off. And that's the perfect opportunity for Oliva to get starts in center field, right? Because he's perfectly capable of playing center. I mean, he's got the range. He's definitely got the speed, and he hasn't shown anything like in spring training when he did play defense, when he was in the games, he did fine. I mean, I think his defense is far superior to Ramos. So what are we waiting for, right? But I think that's the way it's going to play out, is that Oliva is going to get starts when Bader needs a night off, or maybe they sit Jung-Hoo one night and get him in the game,
But I said it last week, and I really want at least one game like this. Put Ramos at DH, put Oliva in the outfield, and have Oliva, Bader, and Lee in the outfield. You have 3 center fielders out there. That could be really cool. And why not? Why not try it? Especially if it makes sense. If Encarnacion gets hurt or something's going on there, Old Man Devers is going to prove you wrong, Senior. I'll just tell you that. Old Man Devers is going to hit like 40 bombs. He's going to have like 6 splash hits, and he's going to play phenomenal first base and probably get close to winning a Gold Glove over there. And Nick Kurtz sucks. His fantasy team name is Nick Kurtz sucks. It's so good.
Is Nick Kurtz, was he the flash in the pan? Has he done anything this
No,
year?
he was rookie of the year last year. I mean,
No.
I don't know if he's sucking. I mean, it's early, but I think he's as legit as they come. I think Nick Kurtz is amazing.
Well, we'll find out this year because the sophomore slump could hit him, and then
yeah,
never know. You never
we'll
know.
see.
Lots of rookie of the years have folded up after that.
What they want to see is Leo DeVries. They need to bring him up because that kid, that kid could be like, oh man, he's like Francisco Lindor or somebody like that. That's just hitting the ball all over, good defense, like fast. That was a good trade. They traded Miller for him, I think. But yeah, A's are interesting. They always have a good team on paper, but the results never seem to kind of match what you would think that those guys could do. I mean, they got a lot of power, they got some speed, and I don't know. The pitching, maybe that's the problem. Is Luis Cervino still angry? We don't know.
I don't know. Maybe the fumes blowing out of the Yolo Causeway are messing them up,
Well, it'd be nice if the city or if the ball club, I don't know who's responsible. I guess it's the ball club. Why won't you just let the team be represented by the city you're playing in? Like if you're not going to claim Sacramento, but you're playing in Sacramento for all your home games, I don't understand that. Is that like some deal with Las Vegas? Like you can't call yourself Sacramento. It's just like, whatever.
Oh, damn. He's on base 5 times.
Yeah.
Well,
tough.
I guess
could be coming to the Giants any day. We'll see.
Yeah, that'd be a move I wouldn't mind.
Well, I think that's our hour of wrap. What do we got? The Phillies, and then is it Baltimore?
I think it might be the Orioles. Yeah,
Phillies, and then the Orioles. So we're going to see some Gunnar Henderson. We're going to see their catcher. They got 2 catchers over there actually that are pretty damn good. So we got to take care of business with the Phillies. We got to, let's see, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's a 10-game homestand. And right now we've got 0, 1. We got 1 win, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we got to go 4-6. We got to win all 3 against Philadelphia and try to come out of this 4-6.
Yeah.
That's what we're shooting for.
Yeah. Well, listen, if you remember back to last year, the beginning of the season, the first trip through Philly, the Giants clobbered them. Robbie Ray threw an excellent game. I think Logan Webb pitched that series too, and they beat up on the Phillies in Philadelphia.
Really?
So, hey,
let's do it again.
That was early last year.
I mean, tomorrow we got a tough right-handed pitcher with Painter going up against us, but let's see if Hauser can get his first win as a Giant.
Yeah. And I don't think he didn't pitch that bad against the Padres, right? He did okay.
No, he pitched good. It was like, again, the fall apart of the defense. He pitched the game where this happened. What do we got? We got this happened over here.
Air Casey.
Hauser's on the mound. And what is it? No, not that one. I got to get better with finding these. So here we go. Catch the fucking ball.
Yeah, that kind of backfired because then he started fucking up, right? And it's just like,
Well, to be fair, I think Devers catches that ball today if he was playing more. I think he would say he should have scooped that ball out of the dirt. The defensive catch that Chapman made on that play was insane. Because I had a great view of it. We were up behind home plate, upper deck, so I'm looking right down third base. Yeah. It didn't look like he was going to get to that ball. It was and he dives and just reaches as far as he can and got up and hucked it to first. That's the kind of play that the first baseman's got to help you out on, I mean, definitely. You made an insane play, threw the ball, and it just didn't work out. But Chapman's phenomenal defense at third. I mean, you can't disagree that. It's just, is the guy going to be less streaky and get a little more contact, not strike out as much, especially with runners in scoring position? Only time will tell on that. That's going to be a big one.
And just run the bases with a little more attentiveness, let's say.
Absolutely.
Because that one today was like, that was bad news bears, right? But listen, 162 game season, guys are going to make mistakes. Guys are going to have errors in judgment. There's nothing. I mean, we're all human, and so are they.
Does Glenn Craig approve of this though? The old Caleb Thornton autograph. He's like, oh, his favorite jerseys tonight. I had to rep, you know. The girls need the support.
The cross marketing. I heard that they were doing some kind of Hello Kitty promotion, and then I found out that every team in the major leagues does a Hello Kitty promotion at one point during the year.
It's like the biggest.
Sanrio is like the big thing, right?
No, Hello Kitty is bigger than anything. When they do those giveaways, people line up at 5 a.m, and it's packed. Like, it was insane last year. I don't get it. It's not my cup of tea, but I usually try to go there and get it and then put it right on eBay the minute I get through the gate. It's like, those are like $100 items easily. Nice.
Well, let's reel it in and wrap it up and get out of here. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna eat, and let's go. Let's get it. It just has to click. Things just have to fall into place. You know, the clockwork has to be running smoothly and well oiled.
So we'll be back next Sunday for another one, and I want to see 2 games from here to there that Susac gets the start, and I want to see Oliva play at least 1 full game and get some spot like defensive backup or pinch running. Let's sprinkle him in. Let's see what he's got. Let's see how comfortable he is and what he can do. If this guy comes in and sparks something, you might be like in a good predicament where you're like, we got to get this guy in there more. Cause I think you're going to find that out to be true, that he's going to be a guy you want to utilize a little bit more. He's kind of what McRae could be. Like, we want McRae to be this guy. So we'll see. Senior says, my daughter just got into Cal. I'll be at Cal Night Giants. The Bears. Good for you. Good for you. Proud Poppy. Senior's got his son catching fly balls in right field. His daughter going to Cal Berkeley. And if you guys all want to go over, I think that Glenn and Eric are probably going to be starting their show anytime soon. The Giants are forever, and we are forever SF Giants. So subscribe, hit like, tell some people. We're just having fun because we love baseball. Not trying to be too serious here, but love all you guys' support. And when the comments come in, it just makes the show better. So we are definitely down for all that. Christian and I will be back next Sunday, and if we're back sooner, you'll get an alert on your YouTube page.
Yeah, let's get out.
It's time to go.
Let's go, San Francisco. Let's go, Giants.
Dude, that was one of the most mind-blowing shows I've seen to this day.
Do not drop that kid.
We're in the memory making business. Aware of the tradition that's here.
The Giants are world champions.
See you soon. Thank you.
And I am forever a Giant.